I'm actually excited just to have, like, it's a very big difference between the last time I did it and this time. And I'm excited to have just so many people on stage and work with so many different actors. And we did it only with 8 people, and now we're doing it with 25 people. And I just think that that's going to be very exciting and very fruitful. Yeah, and I'm just excited just to, like, discover more with Andrew and see what comes with Romeo and Juliet, and, like, who our Romeo and Juliet are in relation to us. I do think that, you know, Andrew and I are very different, and I think that will help, because I think Romeo and Juliet are very different. So I think that those two different worlds are going to marry together. I don't want to say who Romeo is to Andrew, but I do think that Juliet is very thoughtful, and she's very cautious. And before meeting Romeo, I mean, she's not used to kind of putting caution to the wind and going for it and taking those leaps. And I think Romeo brings her there, and she discovers this part of herself that she never really. I think she is explorative within her own world, or within the bounds that she can be, but she is very kind of constrained because of the family and because of the world and the violence. She's protected, and Romeo unleashes this journey and this adventure.
Definitely.
Of love.
I think what's so beautiful is that they are different.
Yeah.
I feel like if they were the same, the story would never happen.
Yeah.
You know, I think it's because of that. And when they first meet and fall in love, they aren't aware, you know, because a lot of people are like, you know, it's just because it's dangerous. It's just, but when they first meet and they first fall in love, they don't know who they are. Yeah. So there were no, you know, classifications or anything like that, which is beautiful. But I do think they're very different. And I personally think that love can work better when you have 2 individuals who need each other, you know, and it keeps the scales even. And I think, you know, I think that's sort of what we're finding, both in real life and in the plays, that we both bring different approaches, different things, but what we're going for is the same. So how we get there is much more interesting.
Yeah.
And so part of this production is talking about how can we make Romeo and Juliet new or different, you know? What do we bring? What does this audience want? What does this what's going on in the world right now? You know, all those things that there's a reason we do Shakespeare over and over again. You know, it's the same reason that someday King Lear will mean something very, very different to me 30 years from now than it does now. You know, it's that same thing. Romeo and Juliet means something very different to me now than it did when I was in high school. And I'm sure 20 years from now, it'll once again mean something totally different. And the Friar will make, you know, more sense. Those kinds of things. So, but yeah, I think it's great. We have very different places we come from, but it comes to the same great place.
Yeah.